that may have caused that.
And speaking of the power, you've got some power outage numbers here that we can share.
That's right. And this is from BGE, the latest numbers. There are more than 19,000 customers without power in Maryland right now. The largest concentrations for BGE service area are in Baltimore County, Harford, and Howard counties. The most outages are actually in Howard County, about 7,600 people without power there. But they are, as they've been saying, trying to go on the back end of the storm, and they're trying to restore the power as they go. And they know that Rob Gould told us they're bracing for another round of this a little bit later. A couple other things that we've seen on social media, something to keep in mind, is that this is really a regional emergency. We're seeing posts on our on Twitter and on our Facebook page about people's spouses being stuck in D.C., their commuters. We know that the metro buses and subways, the MARC and the Amtrak trains are all being impacted by the downed trees and the downed wires. There are significant delays. So it's not just people who are stuck, commuters in their cars who are stuck trying to get home from work today, but there are commuters elsewhere who use the regional transportation
And unfortunately,
system.
I would imagine there are a lot of viewers who have lost their power out in the Bel Air area, so they can't even see us right now. But, for example, Emily posted, the power is flickering here in Bel Air, and there has been an array of thunder and lightning. At one point, it appeared that there was a wall of water outside her house. The water is in the ground is rising, so that water table is coming up, and that's going to lead to some flooding.
Yeah, and flash flooding. We know those warnings are in effect statewide through midnight tonight. A couple other things I found on Twitter. Tommy Hansen, 98, is in Chesterfield. He says, crazy weather here in Anne Arundel County. Hope everybody stays inside. We hope so, too, because there is now a tornado warning for northwestern Anne Arundel County. BM Fine tried to put a little positive spin on it and said gray skies are going to clear up, put on a happy face. But when you walk out of your workplace or your home and you see a picture like this, that's kind of hard to do at this very moment. Let's go to Tom Tasselmeyer and get the very latest on the storm. Tom?
Okay, Kate, the latest on the storm, plural, in our area is the one south of us now is of concern in northwestern Anne Arundel County. You see that the radar is kind of pegging a center of it, if you will, kind of right on the border of Harford and Anne Arundel, or Howard and Anne Arundel County, excuse me. And it's moving rapidly northeast, almost 30 miles an hour. And on that track takes it right past BWI and up toward Fells Point. So in the next hour or so, we could have some more rough weather approaching the city from the south and west. And it looks like that system is becoming a little more organized, actually, in the past few minutes as it cleared the D.C. area, moved up 95, and is now passing east of Columbia and moving up toward northern Anne Arundel County. So a tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service for those locations in northwestern Anne Arundel, extreme eastern Howard, and the northern tip of PG, although PG County looks to be clear of it now. The next threat would be actually coming up into Baltimore County and parts of Baltimore City. In that area to the north where Captain Roy was talking about all the damage, it's pretty much in this area right here. This is 1, and then you have Harford Road 147 and then 52. So in that triangle area there is where he's seeing all the damage from the storm that went through earlier. Right now it's basically just light rain in that region, although the tracks have been kind of similar throughout the day. These storms coming up from southwest to northeast along the 95 corridor through Baltimore City and up into southern Harford County. And unfortunately, this latest storm, which is now down there just north of Laurel, looks like it's moving in that same general direction, tracking right through Jessup with some torrential rain and moving up toward Brooklyn Park in the southern part of the city and the southern part of the county. So these storms have been following pretty much the same basic track and only easing very slowly to the east. Right now it looks like Carroll County catching a little bit of a reprieve from all that rough weather they had earlier. Baltimore County and Harford County and northern Anne Arundel County, as well as Howard County, seem to be in the direct hit of the storms that are coming up out of D.C. now. Then there's a gap. As you can see, Frederick has quieted down before the second line arrives. That one just west of Hagerstown now, not forecast to reach Baltimore City until about 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. So another hour and a half, 2 hours before that second line gets here. And the storms are still coming up out of Virginia in our general direction. For now, though, the tornado warning, eastern Howard, northwestern Anne Arundel counties, and that goes for the next half hour or so. So, Captain Roy, we're going to go back up to you and see if you've discovered any more damage. The stuff I think that you were looking at up there in Harford County definitely looks like tornado damage.
Oh, yes, I would totally agree with you on that. I mean, this is just some of the traffic that's dealing with it. People are trying to work their way up Harford Road and then cut over to Blair Road and go southbound, not realizing that it's blocked off, that just can't get through up here because of the rescue operations, and they're concerned about hazardous materials possibly with some of the incidents that are going on up here. So like police are asking, and everybody's asking, to just stay clear of that triangle area that we've been talking about. There's a little bit of low-lying fog that's actually starting to work in here. We're up at about 1,000 feet, and we're seeing some fog start to work its way in here. We're going to work your way back to where the actual epicenter, if you want to call it, of the damage, where the cars were overturned and the buildings that were ripped apart and uprooted and moved. It's just quite a bit of damage that's up in this corridor, and and this is a pretty high area. I mean, the elevation up here is fairly on the high side. So, we got a fire actually starting to work now on a telephone pole. We're going to take and put you to it. Bobby, work your way to the right a little bit. Just follow that line. You're going to see some electrical fire here at one of the BGE electrical poles here. I mean, that's just a taste of what's happening with all that's going down here. So people are going to have to be expecting a power outage in the area. If not, it will be soon, because this will actually start tripping some of the bakers. And this is actually some not real high tension lines, but they're fairly, put along a lot of decent current that goes through there. And probably the main reason for this is either they got something grounding it out right now, or there's a issue further down the line. So fire department and BG&E office will be responding up here to the scene to deal with this operation, and it's just adding to stuff that's ongoing here between the cars that have been damaged from the car dealerships, homes damaged, buildings destroyed. It's just an entire mess up here, and we're still trying to get verification on if anybody else is injured in here. So right now, that's what we have here. If there's guys have any questions back there, we'll be more than glad to try and help you out.
All right, Roy, you have had some really fantastic video, and we appreciate it so much. It's just so helpful to know what's going on up there.
Right.
Of course, we have crews out all over the area, and here's what Kai Reed has seen.
Hey guys, this is Kai Reed reporting from the live truck heading off to Hartford County, where we're trying to navigate north here on 95, but as you can see, it's really coming down and there's a lot of traffic out here. We're also hearing some reports of some road closures and a lot more damage in Hartford.
Well, that's pretty much what happens sometimes when you're doing it on the fly. We've got crews fanned out throughout our viewing area trying to bring you pictures of the damage and some of the positive stories and some of the not so positive stories. But we are en route, and you can see we're also dealing with red lights. I'm sure Kai is right now in the live truck trying to get to some location at least to bring some video back to us.
Yeah, and this is a look at the traffic around the area. This is I-695 at Maryland Route 146. Traffic moving really quite well there. Take a look at I-695 at US 1, which is Bel Air Road. Remember again that Bel Air Road, once you get a little bit further north, is going to be shut down, so avoid US 1 if you...
Also just got an email and update.